Hello guys, how is it going? So today we are the 3rd of January 2014. Yeah, Happy New Year by the way guys. It's been quite a while since the last time I made a video. I was a little bit busy with work and all private stuff and whatever. And at the same time also, to be absolutely honest with you, not pretty motivated to do videos. Not that I've lost the passion of doing them, but it's just that I think bar the Swansea game, where I think Liverpool played really well, and where they beat Swansea by 4-1, as you all know. And they played very well also. The rest of the games, you know, especially the last one, it was a case of New Year, but same old shit, wasn't it? When Liverpool drew the game 2-2 against Leicester. Bottom of the table, Leicester. Which put a big dent in our quest for a top 4 finish. But anyway, this video today is obviously to talk about Steven Gerrard. As you all know, since yesterday, he's finally confirmed that he won't renew his contract with Liverpool, which will end this summer, and he will be off to the MLS in the United States. Now, Steven Gerrard, guys, he's 34 years of age. He's the same age as I am. For those of you who are interested, I was born in 1980 also. And I followed Steven Gerrard since the very first day he came on as a substitute during the Gerrard Houllier days in 1998. Replacing Gerrard Hagem. I remember it as if it was yesterday, you know, at Anfield. And I've followed him ever since, you know, and I've idolized him. And it's more than fair to say that Steven Gerrard is an absolute legend for Liverpool. And so many good memories, you know, spring to mind when you talk about Steven Gerrard. And he was really, what made him so special is that he delivered really when it mattered the most. And he was really present during the big games, the big finals, the crucial goals, the crucial games, and obviously the Olympiacos goal in the Champions League under Rafa Benitez springs to mind. The wonderful volley outside of the box, the third goal that qualified Liverpool out of the group stage of the Champions League, the magnificent strong volley again against West Ham at Cardiff in the FA Cup final in 2006, the crucial header in the Champions League final in 2005 in Istanbul against AC Milan. The header which started the revival, incredible revival in the Champions League final. And he also scored during the treble year 2001 and the Gerrard Houllier this time in the UEFA Cup final against Alaves. And when you talk about Steven Gerrard also, you also think about the word, obviously, loyalty, which is such a rare commodity, if not extinct already nowadays in football. Steven Gerrard at his peak, at various times during his peak years when he was between 24 and 27 years of age, he obviously had more than one opportunity to live a very, very average Liverpool side, especially during his early 20s. It did get better under Rafael Benitez, but then again, things started to go all wrong again, you know, when Roy Hodgson came and the two silly bastards, Tom Hicks and George Gillett, did painful ownership under Tom Hicks and George Gillett. However, no matter how painful it was under Hicks and Gillett, I wouldn't say that it was a time when, you know, things were going all over the place concerning the financial aspects of the club, you know, but I wouldn't go as far as saying that it was the worst on the pitch, you know, because at the time Rafael Benitez was still there and we still had the likes of Fernando Torres at his peak, Javier Mascherano, Xabi Alonso, Daniel Agger at his peak, Pepe Reina at his peak. You know, I will be just on a side note, you know, obviously this video is about Steven Gerrard, but I will forever be grateful to Rafael Benitez also because he was building something very, very, very special, you know, on the pitch, despite the extremely difficult conditions imposed on him by the owners, the financial pressure, having to wheel and deal, selling before buying and all. He succeeded in bringing the likes of Xabi Alonso, Mascherano, Daniel Agger, Pepe Reina on the pitch, you know. And we certainly cannot say the same right now, at present. But coming back to Steven Gerrard, obviously, like I told you, all the good memories, the wonderful memories, and also the loyalty aspect when he came so close to leaving for Chelsea, not once but twice, in 2004 and 2005. But all credit goes to him because he stayed. And said, obviously, Steven Gerrard has won everything bar the Premier League. This is worth noting. Has been extremely successful in terms of trophies. But obviously he will never win that Premier League title. That for me would have been the biggest one, I think, for him also, you know, the Premier League title. But he would have won so much more. And you've got to be realist about this. If he left Liverpool, if he went to a team like Chelsea, for instance, or Real Madrid, or, you know, he would have played so much more in the Champions League, for instance. But he stayed loyal to the club. And while he did play, he did play in very good company with the likes of Torres, Alonso, Mascherano, not long ago Luis Suarez, obviously. But he was more than good enough a few years back to walk into the teams like Real Madrid, Barcelona, and I don't know, Bayern Munich in Germany. And those teams were chasing him, you know, some 5 or 6 years ago. And he wasn't overrated for me. He was an absolute world-class player. He still is. You know, there is this famous saying, form is temporary, but class is permanent. But at the same time also, age gets to you at some point, you know, and he will be 35 like me very soon. And as a footballer, it gets to you, you know. But the most frustrating thing about this departure, I think in the end, in my humble opinion, you know, I think it's the right decision. For many reasons, it's the right decision. It's not that I'm jumping with happiness that he's going. But I will say this sentence, this phrase, that there are no sentiments in football, you know. And it has become more than apparent during the last few months, especially this season. Last season, it did work a treat, you know. Steven Gerrard in that holding midfield role, quarterback role, controlling, dictating the tempo. A little bit the Xabi Alonso role, with the long diagonal passes here and there. But last season Liverpool had the mobility, had the explosiveness, had the creativity, had the cutting edge of Luis Suarez, Daniel Sturridge and Raheem Sterling. This season Liverpool do not have that. And that's why I'm a bit frustrated by Brendan Rodgers. Because if you do not have that explosiveness, that creativity, that movement up front, Steven Gerrard becomes absolutely useless in that holding midfield role. And don't get me wrong, despite him approaching 35 years of age, I think he's still got some fuel left in the tank. He's still got something to offer, but not in the way that Liverpool and Brendan Rodgers is utilizing him now. For a start, I think he's overplaying him. Steven Gerrard is being overplayed. And this, I would think, Steven Gerrard would never agree with me or whoever. Having, like he just said himself in a very good interview, that having started so many games for so many years, it does feel painful, like he said, to use his own words, to accept that you will become a bit part player, an impact sub, for instance. And I think that's what he has become during the last few months, especially without losing Luis Suarez, Daniel Sturridge, not having the different kind of players up front. But I think Steven Gerrard, but then again, we never know. There's still 6 months left. Maybe at long last, Brendan Rodgers will see light and start using him in the proper way. That's not being big-headed or whatever by me, guys. Let me know your thoughts. Share me your thoughts. I'm not saying that I'm right or I'm wrong. I'm just sharing an opinion. That's what it's all about anyway. But in my opinion, Steven Gerrard, from now on until he leaves, and this could have been a system used if it suited all parties, obviously, as an impact sub in the last 20 minutes, but in a more advanced role. Because I think he's still, forget about the long shots from way out of the box, the strong volleys and all this. He's lost it a little bit, but he's still a better shooter than I think all of our strikers, bar Daniel Sturridge, maybe. And he still has an eye for goal, much better than the likes of Fabio Borrelli or Ricky Lambert, for instance. Even Balotelli, at the time of speaking. So, I would have used Steven Gerrard in the last 20-25 minutes of a game in a more advanced role, instead of overusing him, playing him 90 minutes, game after game, in that holding midfield role with so many players lacking mobility, lacking the game intelligence, not fitting at all with the system. That's why I'm a bit frustrated, very frustrated actually, with Brendan Rodgers, And it's a very sad thing that his Liverpool career is ending in this way, for all the good things that he's done. But, however, I will be forever, whatever happened, no matter, and some people keep going on about the slip that he had against Chelsea. That was an unfortunate incident, that could have happened to anybody, any player in the whole world. But you can't remember him for this. It was an unfortunate moment for him personally and for the club, obviously. Costly also, but certainly Steven Gerrard has done much more good than harm to the club. And I will be forever grateful to the player, to the man. And every time you talk Liverpool, you thought straight away about Steven Gerrard. But then again, like I'm saying, there's no sentiment in football. Me, in my opinion, like I'm saying again, I would have used him only 20-25 minutes of the games in a more advanced role. But who's to say that Steven Gerrard would agree to become a bit part player and impact sub, And for this, there needs to be agreement between all parties. And I don't think that And then we cannot be too selfish also, you know, maybe he's given so much, all his footballing life, not talking about his personal life, this is none of our business, but his footballing life has been given to us Liverpool fans and to the club Liverpool, the club which means so much to all of us, you know. And I think he deserves this experience outside of England, in America or whatever, wherever he wants to go. And the club, most importantly, needs to move on. And I think it's important to respect, again, to take the time to remember the good memories and all the good things that Steven Gerrard has done for the club. But it's also time to move on. No sentiment also. And I'm very, very worried about the future of the club, because Steven Gerrard and Jamie Carragher before, and you don't use these kind of words, heart and soul, heartbeat of the club, lightly, you know. But these two players, Carragher and now Gerrard, who will be leaving, were the heart and soul of the club, were the people, the players who really had the best interests of the club at heart, and also had the talent. Because it's all very nice having the best interests of the club at heart, but if you don't have the talent, because like I said also before, you know, guys, Brendan Rodgers is a genuine guy. I think he wants what's the best for the club, and he is working hard. But whether he's good enough, whether he's talented enough, whether he's experienced enough, whether Liverpool have the time to have these kind of experiences, you know, have the time for Brendan Rodgers to make more and more mistakes. I'm not so sure about this. That's not a dig at the manager. I want Brendan Rodgers to do well. Once again, don't get me wrong. But the club is bigger than anything else. And I'm more worried about the future of the club. And this draw against Leicester was massively disappointing. Once again. And in a way it will be a good thing that Steven Gerrard is going, because Brendan Rodgers shouldn't, for instance, shouldn't have changed the team against Leicester. I know, and I think, you know, in this video, I think it's the first opportunity for me also to say that Brendan Rodgers is badly struggling with rotation. The rotation of the management of Steven Gerrard, and rotation by itself, you know. He rotates players when there needs not, then there doesn't need to be. Changes the team when there doesn't need to be. Doesn't rest people when there needs to be, in my opinion. I think Brendan Rodgers is badly struggling with rotation, and this was one of the main reasons why Liverpool drew against Leicester, in my opinion anyway. Because he shouldn't have changed the team. Because the team played really well. Credit to Brendan Rodgers and all the rest of the players. They played really well against Swansea. Was one of the few times this season, you know, I had the same feeling of well-being during a match, you know, only for the Tottenham game before the Swansea game. Even the other few games that Liverpool won, scraped the 1-0 wins, even the win against Burnley. They didn't play well despite them winning, you know. They did play well, you know, in the United game and in the Arsenal game. Something was lacking, you know. Raheem Sterling was starting this new role up front. But anyway, back to Steven Gerrard. Forever grateful. Will live in memory forever. Like I said, I grew up supporting Steven Gerrard from the very first minute that he started in the first team, you know. And I'm sad. I'm human also. I will be very, very, very sad to see the man leave the club. The player also. It's a bit frustrating because I think he still had a part to play, and I think deep down in his mind some 6 to 7 months ago, it was his idea to continue, you know, but something just had to give and something happened, you know, and But the club needs to move on. The clubs need to change their strategy. The manager is not good enough. He needs to do much better, you know. And we'll have to see what happens. Let me know your thoughts. I've shared with you my memories of Steven Gerrard. But at the same time, we must not forget, guys, the season is still not over. Top 4 is still not over. It will be very, very difficult, but still not over. We're still in the semi-final of the Capital One Cup. Although this will be very difficult now against Chelsea. Especially that the second leg of the semi-final is at Stamford Bridge. And hopefully they do well in the FA Cup this Monday against Wimbledon or whatever. So the season is not over. There's still something to play for, especially the top 4. The Europa League is interesting in the sense that it's another ticket towards the Champions League qualification. Hopefully Daniel Sturridge comes back, and hopefully, you know, now is the time to pay respect, obviously, to Steven Gerrard. But at the same time, guys, the transfer window is open. And it's absolutely crucial that Liverpool get another goalkeeper. At least another goalkeeper and at least another striker. Because we cannot rely on the fitness of Daniel Sturridge even if he comes back, as you all know. I would have liked a defensive midfielder also. But I think this is asking a bit too much, if not any. In fact, to be absolutely realist, I see absolutely no signings during this transfer. I'm hoping that I'm proved wrong. But knowing these owners, FSG, and also Brendan Rodgers, you know, with what he has spent so far. However, to give him some credit, and to the new players some credit, Emre Can, Adam Lallana are getting better. Even Lazar Markovic, to some extent, are getting better. Dejan Lovren so far, Ricky Lambert and Balotelli have been total failures so far. But Manquillo, Moreno, Markovic, Lallana and Emre Can are getting better. Not good enough in my opinion still, but at least are getting better. Getting much, much, much better. Emre Can, Lallana, Manquillo, Moreno and Markovic. But whether that's good enough, I think we'll have to see. Anyway, we'll have to see what happens, guys. Let me know your thoughts, especially about Steven Gerrard. And I'll try to catch up with you soon. Maybe after the game in the FA Cup, we'll have to see what happens. I hope that they win. And take care to all of you. Leave your comments. Leave your thoughts. Please like the video also, and please subscribe also to those who haven't. And thanks, many thanks again to all my subscribers. Thanks for your support, really appreciate it. I hope that you have a good year, good health, most importantly good health, and a good new year. And for the club also, that it does end well the season. Nothing will please me more to see Steven Gerrard lifting at least a trophy, you know, for his last game, for his last season at Anfield, and a top 4 finish also. Fingers crossed about this. Alright guys, take care, love you all, bye.